This episode of the Better Every Shift podcast is sponsored by the Fire Store. Learn more about getting the gear you need at prices you can afford by visiting thefirestore.com.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Better Every Shift podcast. My name is Aaron Zamza. I will be your host with a goal to give you usable, tangible, actionable tips and sometimes tricks and some information that will help you not only be a better fire officer, firefighter, person, significant other, husband, wife, child, whatever it might be, is just to make you a little bit better. And I'm not going to do that alone. Thank God, probably, because I need adult supervision. And with me, as almost always, is the editor-in-chief of Fire Rescue One, the commander, Janelle Fosquet. How you doing today, Janelle?
I'm doing great. I'm pretty excited and fired up by your very festive hat. Ho, ho, ho. I think you're getting us in the mood for the holidays. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm a holidays person, like the second Halloween is over. So let's do this. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's never too early. And if you're not watching the YouTube channel or watching us on video, now is your chance to see me sweating with a Santa hat on. But for great reason, because we have one of our more frequent guests. She's almost in the Better Every Shift Hall of Fame. She is one of our friends over at the Fire Store. It's Amanda Kesey. Amanda, welcome back. How are we doing?
Hey, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing great. Really glad to be back. Love seeing you guys.
Well, this is like your fourth appearance, and hopefully you come back because you have fun with us. But you also have, usable, tangible tips that we're going to talk about. It is time to gear up for the holidays. Before we do that, though, just so our listeners know, you're obviously very well-versed on what the Fire Store has to offer for people. We'll dig into that, but it's because you're a fourth generation firefighter. You served as a volunteer firefighter for Ludwig's Corner Fire Company up in Chester County, Pennsylvania, right? 20 years now in the fire service.
This is my 20th year. I started when I was 3.
Yes. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Well, congrats on that.
Thank you.
The cool part about it, and the reason why I like to emphasize that, is because now how long have you been with the Fire Store?
This is my 10th year here. Yeah.
Okay. Whoa, congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a big year of anniversaries.
And that's why we love working with you guys, because we were talking about this off camera a little bit about, look, believe it or not, like, it is a company that is actually created to do just what we're trying to do. Make the firefighter's life, or the frontline officer, or whatever you may be, your life easier, make it help you do your job better. And it's actually the dedication of the people behind the scenes, but the people behind the scenes are actually embedded within the fire service, like yourself. And, with you've used your experience now to be the merchandising manager for, it's Whitmer Public Safety Group. We know them as the Fire Store.
Yeah.
And you focus just on creating these product lines that help, with fire suppression, with rescue. You have cool little ways to package tools. Thermal imaging cameras is also something that you guys have on the website. Drones. You work with all of the different pieces of equipment that we need, and you find the best products for us. So I was thinking about this the other day, like with our, the way my department works is you got to go through a chief, and the chief has to vet the product. You guys do that already. So if it's on the Fire Store website, it's vetted by first responders. And for those that don't believe me, go back to one of our previous episodes where you've said no to certain products. You have your team take and use them and try to break them, right? Because that's what we always do. And right. And so a lot of the stuff that we'll talk about today has all been vetted. People have tried to break them within the fire service and use them. And so with that, like, thank you guys for doing that part of that, for us and doing that background research. But let's dig into some of these products, by the way. First and foremost, if you're listening to this, or watching this, the Firestore has granted us a code that will get us 15% off during their Cyber Week, which is November 21 through November 30th. It's Fire Rescue 1 CW. So Fire Rescue 1 CW all together, no spaces, all caps. And highly encourage people to go. Last year, I must confess, I bought a gear bag, I bought a Streamlight, and I might have bought this shirt in last year. So take advantage of it, because it'll save you a lot of money on these great products that we're going to talk about. So I'll get that out, and I'll repeat it at the end. And now I'm done talking. I'm going to turn it back over to you, Amanda. When we talk about gift giving for 2024, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
So honestly, it's probably my favorite gift that comes up every single year. So what I've seen year after year, any time of the year for gift giving, is helmets. So it's, leather helmets have always been like the staple. Everyone wants their leather, depending on what station you're at, depends on, can you do a non-NFPA version or the NFPA version. But this year, what's been really cool too, is that we have ones that aren't leather, but I think we can probably jump into the leathers first. So N5As, N6As, Carnes. So the Sam Houston and the New Yorker, they are the go-to gift. And same thing happens at FDIC. They are one of our most looked after, sought after. And the coolest thing is that we normally always have them in stock. So we buy up heavily to make sure that we have them ready and available for anybody as soon as they want it. But the N5A is probably my favorite, just for the fact that the price point makes sense. If you're buying this, it's a more expensive item, but the N5A is at least a little bit cheaper than the N6A. It is the non-NFPA version though. So you're looking like somewhere between $1,300 to $1,400 when you're buying an N5A. Not if you use your 15% off code.
Right.
But then
exactly.
right, the best part. And then if you're looking at an N6A, you're getting around $1,600 to $1,800, which is the NFPA version of the exact same helmet. So really love that.
Yeah. Why do you like them so much? What stands out to you?
I like how they're so traditional. It's like kind of iconic to have your leather helmet. We've seen people pass them down over generations, maybe not wearing them, but like hanging them on their wall or using them in ceremonies and parades. I also like that it's kind of like very, it's like the unique thing for our US fire market. So we tend to really like stuff that shows our tradition, but like handmade leather helmets, like you can't get more traditional than that.
No, they're also really balanced. I tried these on last year at I think FDIC. I was trying a bunch of the helmets on after we had our conversation, and they were really light, a lot lighter than some of the older traditional leathers, and they were also really balanced on my head, which I was a little surprising, because traditionally that's been a heavier helmet. Yes. But they've done some really good things to blend those in with the tradition, right?
Yeah, they have. And they've really worked on making sure that like the soft goods can be taken out and you can wash them, so you can decon this helmet a little bit better. It's very similar to what it before. Like if you look at them, you almost couldn't tell the difference in them, but they have definitely done a lot of work to the inside of that helmet.
So what about the non-leather one?
So Carnes released their 1836, which is, if you take a 1010 and a 1044 and an 880 and you say, what is better than those three that they have? So like they're tried and true traditional composites. They came up with the 1836. So this helmet is lighter weight. It comes in unpainted, which is matte. So it is painted. It's just the way that they call it. So the unpainted version is the matte. The painted is the gloss version. So you're kind of reminiscence of your 1010, 1044. But this helmet, it's lighter. The suspension system, you can move around a lot better. So you can really customize it to the fit of your head. Like you said, balancing. We all have different size heads. So this really helps with that. It's more streamlined. It's a little bit lower profile. It's not as low a profile as some others that are on the market, but it gives you the traditional look while also being very like new and innovative.
Yeah. And the price point's a little bit better?
The price point is a little bit better. As you can see, you're around like, $440 to probably like, $634 for those. It does go up a little bit when you get to the gloss versions are about $500 to $700. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit cheaper than a leather helmet.
Yeah.
But you're the exact same look. So
It's a great helmet for recruit academies or for, someone going through Fire 1 or Fire 2, for those vocational tech colleges or if you're just getting started and you're going through, you need to have your own, or even for
yeah.
those that need to buy numerous ones. That's a great helmet to start with, right?
It's a great helmet for that. I currently wear a 1044, and when that one's done, I'll be switching to the 1836. I just like the feel of it. But yeah, it's a great helmet.
So now we go from the traditional. This is one of my favorite things too that we're going to talk about now, is how technology has really advanced, with not only with obviously cameras now and radios, but also with thermal imaging. What's one of your favorite technology or technological gifts?
Yeah. So Seek makes an amazing situational awareness camera, which is the Fire Pro 300. It is so easy to use. It's so easy to it's small, it's easy to fit in your hand, easy to put on your gear. You're not weighing yourself down with some of those larger cameras. It has a 300 lumen flashlight on it. So, you're kind of taking the place of putting a flashlight on your gear if you want to, so you can put two in one. But it's also a great price point that, you're around the price of a helmet if you're getting a leather. But now you can actually have that product in your hands that, is really going to help save your life if you're in a bad situation. We've seen tons of people looking at this saying, I don't want to just buy it for me, but I'm buying it for my friend or family members who are buying it for, their loved ones. It is the perfect gift if you want to give something that's a little bit more techy. You want somebody who's maybe into the more innovation that's out there. Also, just the usability of this camera. I mean, it's got in my mind, pretty unparalleled in the smaller camera space. The resolution's higher. You've got mixed gain mode in this. As you can see the mixed gain right there, it's crystal clear. Absolutely love this camera.
They've
And the
done
refresh
really
rate.
well.
We should also just note for everyone who's just listening, we are showing all of these products. We're screen sharing so you can see all the details that Amanda's talking about. So hop over to the YouTube page if you want to check it out.
Or I think you have all of these on a gift. Firestore has created a special website for all the gift giving kind
Yes.
of guide, correct? What is that?
So we created just an easy place for our customers to go to find, you maybe don't know what you want to get or you want some ideas. So we have the Holiday Gift Center, which you have currently up on the screen, but it just kind of breaks everything out a little bit easier. So you'll have the Fire Pro on there, the helmets will be on there. We break it out by different price points for gifts. So if you're like, hey, I only got $25 to $50, what can I get? It's going to be in there. And then we also put all of our other sales at the bottom of the page so you can just see when there's other discounts. So if you're like, hey, I really want to get some 511, well, here's the discount that you're going to have available for that. Yeah. It was one of those things when, we were looking at the site and we're like, okay, if I'm buying something, I want to make this as simple as possible. So came up with this idea.
So if you go to firestore.com, they'll see banners for that.
Yes.
As well. And Cyber Week, I kind of just brushed over that really, but I'm too excited to talk about the products. November 21st through the 30th. Is that correct?
Yes.
You have Cyber Week, kind of like a whole week of Black Friday kind of stuff going on, right?
Yes. Yeah. And it extends. This 15% off code is just one of the things. Now, everyone here is pretty lucky to get that code. For the select that not everyone's got it. You're not going to see that on our emails. You're not going to see that out on our social media. It's just for everybody who's listening. But yeah, we put out discounts throughout the week. There will also be certain times where you're going to get like a midnight deal that only goes until 6 a.m. You don't know what's coming. We kind of like to spice it up, make it fun. But yeah, we have tons of gift and holiday ideas that will be kind of coming to life over that week.
Awesome. Well, again, that code Fire Rescue 1 CW, Fire Rescue 1 CW, the number 1, by the way. So Fire Rescue, the number 1 CW, all caps. All right, there you go. And it's right, for our listeners listening to this, talking about, these great gifts. We talked about the helmets. I wanted to add something about the Seek Fire Pro. I used the 200 a couple of times, and the 300 has a better refresh rate, which makes it, a little bit easier when you're using the thermal imaging camera, I know a lot of times we have a tendency to go so fast. And
Yeah.
so Seek is I've met some of the engineers of Seek behind the scenes, and they realize that instead of they try to train us, but they realize we're sometimes untrainable. There's adrenaline. So they're adapting their products to the way that we actually respond. And I think that's really cool. So there's the 200 that's really good. The 300 is new. And I think, remember, we talked last year when you used to have to use them on their side, but
Yes.
we were always
No.
used to using a tick straight up. So Seek said, wait a minute, instead of having, again, to retrain everybody, let's
Yep.
just say, hey, if people are, if this is how they're going to use the product. So now they've actually made it so the 300 to 200, I believe, is now
Yes.
upright, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it's more ergonomically friendly for us in the way that we're used to doing it. Yeah, you're not going to be looking at the floor. That was one of the big things that came back. That you're saying, yeah, you're like, oh, why am I seeing? It didn't work. So
Yeah, it didn't work out. So great
No.
companies like that, they've really put a lot of research into their technology. Again, I've had an opportunity to use them, and this is, if somebody's listening to like, hey, how can I, what's a gift I can give to my significant other to help them become or be more safe in their job? These are that right there. I would just say start there. I mean, that's
this would be the number one gift. Yeah,
it's a number one gift, and it's also great for training. There's so many different uses that we can get from these cameras. So as far as the technology thing, we got the Seek, we got the Seek Pro 300, and Fire Pro 300. We also have the 200 that you can look there. We have the leather helmets from Carnes. We have the composite helmets. So let's talk about lights.
Yes.
Right. Those are some of the greatest things to give to. What's your favorite this year?
So, if everybody knows the Survivor from Streamlight and the Knucklehead from Streamlight, well, if they had a baby, you would get the Pivot. This is my favorite light that is out there right now because it gives you the best of both worlds. So you're getting the dual beam, so you're getting the spot and the floodlight. You're getting 300 lumens on both of them, so you're not really, you're not giving up anything with having two different lights on there. But it's also the streamlined, look of the Survivor. So it's not bulky like the Knucklehead used to be, but you still get the articulating head. The price point, I think, is perfect for this type of a light too. So, you're around the, $104 range there. So it's great.
Less than that with a code, which is another
Okay.
perfect reason,
And
that's a rechargeable, correct? Well, it comes in both.
Yeah,
It comes
in both.
Okay.
And
Battery,
you can get it with the magnet on the back too. If you're used to using the Knucklehead with the magnet, you can get that on this one.
Yeah. Well, and full disclosure, I might have bought a couple of them because, firefighters like a lot of projects, and the one with the magnet on works great for a ton of projects, not only in fires, but, if you're trying to fix something, you need a light and you obviously don't have somebody that you trust to hold it. The Streamlight does work well on that too. And there's a ton of different options for Streamlight on there. And they've always been one of your, focal products, right?
They have.
Why do you like that company so much?
Well, I think there's quite a few reasons, but some of the main ones are that they're very innovative and they take user feedback. So you're always knowing that they have already tried this out. They've tested this. They've asked firefighters their opinion. They're not just putting something out there and saying, we think the fire market's going to like it. The firefighters are going to buy this just because it's, it looks cool. No, they've tested. They've made sure that it's going to work, that it makes sense for the, whatever scenario they're designing it for. But they also give back a lot too. They work with the NFFF with us. So, that's always a nice partnership. They're also very local to us. So we, our companies aren't that far from each other. So it's nice to have somebody that's almost like in your hometown to work with. So, we work on a lot of innovations with them and we partner on a lot of deals.
So they go, hey, try to break this or see if this really works.
Oh yeah, they do. And then I guess the other part to say that's even really good is that they will let you, you'll send stuff back and you'll be like, yeah, it's broke. And they'll be like, well, let us fix it for you. So, it's not like you're just having to throw it away. You can send it back. They can repair things. Now, if it is very broke, like you ran it over with a tanker, then yeah, you might need to get a new one. But, a lot of times they'll work with you.
Yeah. There's some things that, right, like you can't just, send back like a lens and say the stream light broke, which look, there's probably some that's probably happened. We talked about that
Probably.
sometimes, of different things that you've had to deal with, right? With
Yes.
what we do in the fire service
Mhm.
to break crap. And the other thing I thought was really great about we were we have these great conversations behind the scenes, which is what I swear Janelle just every time starts staring at me and going, "Would you please hit record?" Right? Your
Save it for
office,
the show.
save it for the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your office is like a firehouse.
Yes.
So I kind of see you, like you kind of smiled when you said that, because like
You're
right
like,
now you're probably getting text messages from people knowing that you're on this program.
yes.
And obviously you have jokesters and there's a lot of pranks. How do you think that how does that, how does that play into just the development of how the fire store has
Like,
grown?
yeah, it's like a family atmosphere. Yeah, I did say prior that on the last time I was on with you guys, I had people knocking on the door and putting their faces against the door or messaging me because they knew that I would get little noises in my ear. um, but yeah, it really helps too because like it is like a firehouse. We're all family here. But the one thing that you always find in the firehouse is a bunch of passionate people in doing what we do. We're very passionate about what we do, so we get very passionate about like our products, how we're looking at new products. It kind of makes it so that you're always thinking of every scenario. Like we play through everything together, and that's really helped us grow too because it's just we're always looking to see what we can do to like better help our the other fire company down the street. A lot of us here, we have over 1,000 years of experience in the fire service. Just for people who currently work here, we're probably well above that now. That number was from a few years ago. So like everybody from our salesmen on the street, which mostly all have actual fire experience, and a lot are either still career or volunteer. But we have like our IT department has firemen in it. So like every aspect of our company has firefighters. Mr. Whitmer, who started our company, he was a fireman. He hired guys from his station to come in. So we had people in accounting and our purchasing departments, and they're all different. Firefighters, law enforcement, a lot of EMS, veterans, you name it. Any type of first responder, we definitely have them here.
So you got the
That's awesome.
jokesters, you have the fun kind of
Yes,
environment. You guys have grown a lot in the last 2 years too, haven't you?
we have. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to, I'm not a very smart person, but I believe you've also sponsored the podcast for the last 2 years. So I'm just going to throw that out there that there's got to be a correlation, obviously.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So with that, you've also expanded your products.
Yes.
Along with, expanded staff, expanded products. Your staff is passionate about helping us. We talked about obviously protecting our melons, and that's
Yes.
always a popular.
Yeah.
We talked about protecting us within the fire and training with the Seek Pros. We also then said, you enlightened us with. Hopefully, you guys got what's coming next with
I really like
the
that.
Streamlight, right? So those are your kind of top three, but let's get into like some of the ones that maybe people won't think so much of until we talk about them. One,
Yeah.
I think fire cams have been
Yes.
super popular, and that company has really kind of developed and grown as well, like Firestore has. What's your favorite fire cam?
So my favorite one is up on the screen for those of you that aren't seeing it. It's the Onyx helmet camera. So it's their newer one to the line. It's got a really good resolution to it. It's it's a newer design. It's same that fits on the side of your helmet just like the other ones do, but it gives you just a little bit more better quality for that picture. But yeah, there's 3 different fire cams out there, and they're all great. I think for like capturing like the training moments is always a good one to kind of be able to go back and say, hey, what did we do right? What did we do wrong? The blooper moments, you always want to catch that guy who like took a
Aaron's
face plant.
super familiar.
Yeah, I'm very familiar. I'm always seem to be always that officer too that'll fall on.
You would fit along well with my captain.
Yeah, fall on the scene. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned too. It's just like it's not just for a fire. You can also use it for, hey, we're gonna do a training rotation, and I like, for instance, if you're doing a search drill, you can kind of point out like, hey, you can really see techniques and where their head's going, and possibly if they're following somebody with the cam on, which can really just help us become a little more efficient, just a little better,
Yeah.
which is obviously the goal of the program, but also the goal of what you guys are trying to achieve. And so this is really a fairly affordable tool that
Mhm.
we can, people can purchase individually or for each other or for themselves. We haven't really mentioned that too much. Like
Yeah.
gifts, you
Give yourself
deserve a
something.
gift for yourself sometimes too, don't you?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, and this one's, the more expensive of, the fire cams. Like you can get them for, around like $230 as well. So, there is a range there, but yeah, give yourself something. We've seen a lot, people obviously using this for training, using it on calls. I will say if you are using this on a call, my own little warning that for a few people that I've known and how it's gone over, make sure you check with your chief. Make sure that you're allowed to videotape what you are doing, because sometimes that is frowned upon. But yeah, what I love is when someone turns it on their helmet and they have it riding in the front, like the officer's seat or the driver, and they're getting like the video going down the street. That's always one of my favorite videos. But
yeah, but you're right though. There's also some moments where they get stuck. Their SCBA doesn't come out of the harness of the truck, and all you see is like trying to kick. Like those are fun too, right?
those
Like,
are really fun.
yeah, that's part of the journey, and so this will help capture that. It'll
Yeah.
help, I think with crew continuity as well, because you can, like I said,
Yeah.
you can get different perspectives, and you really use these as a great training tool. And they have a couple different models.
Yep.
And so fire cams are there. Let's go to more health and safety, more cancer maybe initiative here with,
Yes.
what's the hood that you would
So
recommend?
So Majestic has their Halo hood. This is one of the versions of it. This hood comes in so many different colors. I mean, they start around like $72.99 if you're getting like a plain white hood, or you can get like $79.99 if you're getting one of the colors, and then up when you start getting designs. But I don't know if you've seen with particulate hoods in general, they were always expensive when they first hit the market, and it was, you're paying hundreds of dollars to get this hood, and it wasn't always feasible for every department to say, let me put put these guys into a particulate, hood. They were, saying, let's get ones that maybe have partial coverage, but this is a full 360 full particulate coverage hood. It is comfortable. It doesn't give you the crinkling noise in your ears that some of the other ones used to make, which was one of the things that I felt like a baked potato, like you could hear it like crackling around you. So that was not fun, but this one doesn't do that. And the price point is there. Majestic never lets us down with hoods. Another Pennsylvania company, just got to call out there. But yeah, their hoods have been always a good seller for us when it comes to Nomex. And when they were looking at like, what do we do particularly wise? They said, they're like, well, nobody else is doing all the colors. Nobody else is doing all those fun little designs that kind of make it more personal. So yeah, we got the Halo hood.
And so right here, it was like cancer awareness is on there.
Yes.
You can, like you said, there's different options for it. But one thing to note, like this isn't just like your normal hood. It's covering all the way through throat, thyroid, into the like chest and shoulders. So the coverage is really good with it. As you said, though, the other part of it is it's a comfortable hood. So you put that on, you put your jacket on, you maybe slide that hood back a little bit. It's not irritating you, like you were saying, right?
Yeah, no, it's really comfortable. The Nomex blend and the lensing blend kind of give you that too. So you get the softer feel. It doesn't feel like, paper against your skin.
So that's a great gift if you really are concerned about your own health or wellness or someone else's. Great gift to give to your crew, significant other, or get it for yourself. I'm just saying it. I'm going to keep saying it because I believe that's what I did last year. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get myself some of this stuff.
The Fire Store, equipping protectors with passion. Every decision we make as a company is about you, our customer. We wouldn't be where we are today without you, and we don't take that lightly. We understand that having the right gear can mean the difference between life and death. Our goal is to get you the gear you need, when you need it, at prices you can afford. Visit us at thefirestore.com for everything but the truck, and shop our family of brands, including Streamlight, MSA, Lion, Fleer, and more. Now let's get back to the show.
Another really common thing is our radio straps.
Yes.
I see so many of them now with some personalization on them and different, obviously different kind of cuts and sizes.
Mhm.
What's your recommendation for radio straps?
So I love Box 31 radio straps. Just the feel and the look of them is really nice. So the leather is impeccably chosen. So it's not going to wear out quickly. It's not going to fade quickly. It's not going to, break easily. It's got this amazing stitching on it. I love the red stitching on this. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to see sometimes in the photos, but they look really nice in person. What I also like is, like what you said, the customizable options. So you can customize this to have stamping with your name on it or your station number, whatever you want to do. You can personalize it for you. I know sometimes everyone gets the exact same thing at the station, then you're wondering whose is whose. You wouldn't have to if you customized it. So yeah, this strap, specifically the one that we're showing here is the combo. So this comes with the strap, the radio holster, which is a universal radio holster, as well as the anti-sway. So for that and the price point of 135, I feel like you can't beat it. There are, there's other options out there, but I feel like this one, it's like the best bang for your buck if you're looking for a radio strap. So you're getting everything and the high quality.
And I
Well,
love that it's short, regular, and long options
Yes.
too.
yes, I was
So
going to
great.
say, because we all like we wear them differently, and
Yeah.
everybody's got a different build, of course. The other part about this too is they sell the radio straps, but they also sell like SCBA, for your mask. They have something for the hand lantern, right, as well. Like,
Yep.
so they have a lot of different things that you can tie with it. So great gifts, like you said, you can personalize them. And when we're on that topic, there are so many things that can be personalized on the Fire Store. I was
Yes.
noting there are probably, I think, twice or to three times as many products now that you can personalize. After our show last year, I got this shirt personalized, super comfortable, super easy to do, but you got lots of stuff with helmets and shields.
Yes. Yeah.
What's some of your favorite personalized products?
So along with the Box 31 radio strap, which is also, I'll mention, it's Firefighter owned. So you're supporting another firefighter company there, but Taylor's Tins, which is also Firefighter owned, is one of my absolute favorites. I feel like Taylor has some really innovative designs when it comes to the fronts. There are a bunch of other customizable items from his as well. Like you can get locker tags, street signs, some, wallets, stuff like that. But I love his fronts. They're durable. You can decon them. You're not, when you take a leather front into a fire, you're putting contaminants into it as soon as it's exposed, because, leather expands and contracts. So it's going to put some of those contaminants into the leather itself where you don't have to worry about that with the tin front. You're just going to wash it off when you're done, use a little bit of soap and water if you need to, and you're good to go. And you can just do so much with it. You can choose the different styles. He's got everything from like the Boston style, if you want that very traditional look, or the retro. I have a classic on my one helmet. Absolutely love his fronts, and he's really quick with his turnaround. I will note though, if anyone does look to get custom stuff, if you're looking for it before the holidays, you've got to, it might not all be there before the holidays. Some of it might. Taylor's Tins is one of those ones that would most likely be there prior, but there are some that would not be there before Christmas.
Yeah, and he's a good guy. He's
such a great guy.
He supports the fire service too, which it goes back to these products, folks, are just, they're not. Some of them are more national brands, but they're brands that you guys vet and stand for the same things that we do
Yes.
here on the show, and that's why this has been such a great, I think, working relationship. Plus, I like to test a lot of stuff too, and so that's on my list, is trying to get a Taylor's Tin for it. And you mentioned the personalization.
Yes.
Like my mind, of course, thinks, well, get a Streamlight or get like a something tangible for somebody, your significant other. And then you always got gift cards.
We do. Yeah. So you can get a gift card, if you're like, hey, I want to make sure somebody has something before the holidays, or, for any other occasion. Even if, you're a chief and you're like, I want the crew to kind of get what they want, they can get a gift card. So there's multiple different, options. You have, like, this is the $50 one, but there's other ones for like $25. I think all up to $500 now that we offer on there. If you want one larger, I am sure you can do that and call into our customer
Or you
service.
get two 500s. That's $1,000.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I did write the correct math on that. I think Janelle's
I
laughing.
think you're right. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah,
But
right. So there's all these things that you could personalize. The Taylor's tins, I've heard really good things again, not only about him himself, but his company and the
yeah.
products. You have 511 and some of the apparel that you can personalize.
Yep.
Is that right? Like, um,
Yeah, job shirts, you can personalize any type of outerwear, polos, um, beanies. We actually engrave those, which is really cool to put on an engraving machine. We do hats where you can put, embroidered patches on it, all different types of, fun apparel. But yeah, just a little bit of everything. Um, and if you keep scrolling, there's always something new.
yeah.
And we're working really hard to bring even more for next year. So I can't say what they are yet, but there's at least 3 that I know of that we're hoping to get live soon.
There's a tool that I got last. It was gifted to me. And at
Mhm.
first I was like, what am I going to use this for? And then as I started using it,
Mhm.
I thought, okay, I think everybody needs one. It's the snagger tool.
Yes,
And it was on your list too. Let's talk about that. And I think that's a great stocking stuffer. Or if
100%.
you want to be really creative, use it to like hold the stocking. So it's just, it's right there.
Oh, I never thought of that. Oh,
See,
that's a
I got
cool
a couple good
idea.
ideas.
I
So
really like that.
yeah, tell me about this tool and why it was both on your list and mine.
So, all right. So for me, I am short. You can't tell by this. I'm not anywhere near 6 foot or anything like that, but I am pretty short. So I have sometimes issues like holding the hose line on a ladder, or like, I just like it gets bulky, and you can try and like wrap your leg around things as much as you want, but it doesn't always work. So I found that using the snagger tool helped me a lot. So I can hook it on the rung, hook it on the rail. I can make it really simple to help me hold a hose line if need be. Um, I also like that you can break glass with it. I like rescue a lot. I like to break things. For those of you who probably love rescue, there is nothing more satisfying than breaking a windshield or a window, because you just can. And there's a lot of times where you want to break windows and you just can't. So on a fire call, you can. I absolutely love it for that, because it has the like the carbide tip, so it's really easy to break that with. So really nice. It's one of those tools that like you almost find you're using it for things that you didn't think you would use it for. I don't know if
Yeah.
you have the same thing.
Yep. Yep. I originally got it because, now as an officer, I still want to be able to assist, as we go into fire attack, but I want to have, I, I want my tick there as well. And one of the retiring lieutenants gave me theirs and they said, take this in. And really all I've done, and I've used it a couple of times, is I've just really just snagged the 2.5 in one case, snagged the 1.75 inch, and it's like it creates a handle. So you
Yes.
can do a lot of work with one arm, and I could still keep, one hand forward if I had to use a tick, or to keep orientation for,
Mhm.
my nozzle person. And it's a cool tool, right? But then now you use it to hook stuff on. I've used it to carry different pieces of equipment. I mean, there's so many different
Yeah.
applications to this kind of tool. As you said, it's great for knocking windows out, even on automobile extrications, all kinds of stuff. Where I've hooked it on a ladder as well to just make sure tool stays put or saw stays
Yeah.
put. It's one of those versatile things.
You've got this pocket organizer kit too. I think that's
Yes.
super fun because it comes in that with a bunch of other cool stuff too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
out of stock at the moment. Trust me, there's some coming in. But yes, that is one of their wedges are really good. They're not flat wedges, and they're also not like they have the little rubber, like ribs on it that normally wear out. These ones, they're actually made with a little bit of like a bump to it, so it's really easy to put it under a door, pull the door back a little bit if you need to, and it holds it open. And the spanner wrenches are so small and easily fit in your pocket, especially if you have the organizer. But even if you don't.
Mhm. Yeah. Another great there, right there. You buy that, you got a couple different
Got
gifts
everything.
that, you use every single day. You probably will lose too, or someone else will take or pick up, but right there, you're getting more in stock, and you do every day. And again, like when
Yeah.
you use the code, then, you get 15% off. Fire Rescue 1 CW will get you 15% off. That brings that cost down quite substantially. And what a great gift, right? You have all those different things that we were talking about. You got door chalks, you got the snagger tool, and then spanner wrenches.
And you can customize them. So
Oh,
you can
you
put your
can
name on it.
customize that too.
Yeah,
And
you can put your name on it so nobody takes it. You can
That's
do it on the
awesome.
snagger tool as well as the wedges.
okay. Now,
Nice.
like you said, the only difference is that they may not get that through the holidays, but it is
Correct.
an option. And like, I like the idea of buy them a snagger tool and then buy them something like that maybe they would want to personalize, like
Yeah.
a box 31 purse, like radio pouch, whatever you want to call
I
it,
get you.
radio harness. So they do get something they can open, and then they get something they can design and buy for themselves.
Yeah.
And and the other thing that is not on the list, but I gotta say I used last year, maybe even bought 2 years ago, was your jumbo gear bag with the wheels. And I didn't get that in time for the holiday, but I personalized it for myself, which you can do. But what I
Yeah.
like about it is the compartments. Keep helmet in one compartment, SCBA in another, and then gear is sealed up in the middle. It's just something that when we talk about making sure that our gear is clean and that it's not exposing us when it's in our vehicles. These are such a great gift idea.
Mhm.
The jumbo one
You
works really well, but you have a favorite, or you have
I don't really have a favorite in all of them. I really like our jumbo gear bag. I really like there's a tan gear bag that we have. I just love the color. But really, I just like anything that allows me to stick it in the bag and not have to have it just laying in the back seat of the car. Sometimes I'll get to go with here at the fire store and try something and test something. So I'm taking it with me. Most times for me, being a volunteer, I have my own gear locker, but I take it with me. I get to, put it in there. It easily fits in the car. And I just have everything in one place. It makes it a lot nicer than trying to, throw the coat over and hold on to your pants and your boots and walk wherever you're trying to go. The wheeled one is really nice. I've actually used the wheeled gear bag for going on vacations. I don't just put like fire gear. I will stuff everything into that bag and take it with me. It has more space than, most of your luggage does. So it's kind of nice for that as well.
Yeah. I originally had a hockey bag, and that just didn't last very long. And so I bought this one, and I was saying again behind the scenes, like that thing will slam down on the ground. It's dragged everywhere, but the wheels really, really help, and it's lasted. It looks still very, very new. And I get a lot of guys ask me like, "Hey, where did you get that?" So I had to make sure I included that, because if you're going to buy all these cool things, you want to make sure that you can organize them and hang on to them so you don't lose them. And gear bags are one of those great options, I think, for anybody, that needs a holiday idea or gift. And then lastly, we got on our list here, since tis the season, Janelle's favorite season, ornaments and holiday related gifts, or I shouldn't say gifts, holiday related items on the Fire Store. Do you have any of
Yes.
those?
Yeah,
What do you
so
got?
we do custom ornaments. So these are crystal ornaments. We have a few different shapes that you can get, but we come with some, fire designs that you can put on there. There's EMS, there's police designs, and you can just personalize it. So you can like put your station and your station number on it. You can customize it with, wedding dates. I actually used one of our guys got married. So I got him one of these for Christmas and put, the station information and their names and their wedding date on it. We sell these all year round too, so it's not just during the holidays. You can buy them whenever, but this is one of our favorites. We make them in-house. Once you do, you can buy it without anything on it, which would be $9.99. But if you do customize it, they're around $16.99, depending on it all depends on kind of which engraving you add to it. But yeah, they're great. They're really pretty when they come in. They're really nice to hang up on the tree. I have gotten a few every year. Actually, one of the guys on my team, when I told him, I was like, "Oh, I hope I get to show them." He tried to give me the one that he had his face printed on to show you, but I said that I wasn't going to bring that one out.
Hence something you would do at the firehouse. I love that idea. But what a great crew
Yes,
gift idea, right? Like something
it
unique.
is. Yeah.
If you're officer looking for something, hey, I want to give my crew something. Of course, gift cards and cash always are popular, but something kind of more memorable. You can personalize these. maybe if you're an officer, you put your own face on it, give it to your every member of your crew. I'm not going to do that because
yeah, if you go to do that, you can call in for us to custom make them for you. But yes, yeah, we do a lot of fun things like that.
Well, and the cool part about what you guys offer too is I've bought stuff personally, just right on the website, and then I brought up some things to some chiefs about like, yeah, you can contact Firestore. They'll create a PO system, right? So you can buy through department funds as well.
Yeah.
Just confirm that. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I know that you do
Yes.
you do POs and everything with departments and individuals. So explain that process.
Yeah, so we have on the ground salesmen from Maine to Virginia. So if you're in Maine to Virginia, there's somebody out there who can help you with an order. And if you call into our customer service, they will help you figure out who you need to call and who wants to call you, especially if you're looking for a quote on a bunch of items. And you can put them in your car and you can order them straight through the website. Or if you have questions or you're working on a bid of some sort, you can reach out. We will work with you on whatever you're doing. If you have grants that you're working on and you want to get bids for that, we're more than happy to do that. And if you're not in Maine to Virginia, we have inside sales support that'll help you in all the other states. So we can, make sure that you have someone who's personally there to help you with whatever questions you have. And our customer service is always available. So you can call them and, ask questions, place an order online. If you have a question about a product, they're very, knowledgeable and they're there to help you with anything. So
they can also email, correct? I thought I saw a chat on there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there's an email. I think it's at the bottom of our website. There's a bunch of different ways. There's a contact us all the way in the footer of our website as well. Yep. So you can click there. We do have some stores too, so you can go into our different locations. We've got one in Richmond, Virginia. We have one in Williamsport, Maryland. There's one here where I'm at in Coatesville, Pennsylvania. And there's one in Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania as well. So yeah, there's a bunch of different places you can go. If you're in the area, please stop in. If you listen and you watch, feel free to ask for me. If I'm here, I will definitely come over and say hi to you. So
yeah, please give her some guff, give her some suggestions for future gift ideas. Lastly though, what's coming up with the Firestore? You guys are growing again and expanding because they've been really supporting the Better Every Shift podcast. But what else you guys got on the horizon for next year?
Oh, well, we're constantly looking at some new items. So I've been working with a bunch of new customizable items to add for what we were talking about. But even just kind of going through our current assortment and figuring out where there's maybe a gap in something. So working with drone companies and coming up with new ways to get drones out there, looking at, more of the electric vehicle fire stuff and working up with that. It's been one of my favorites. I've got to go test blankets all over burning cars and I'm loving it. One of the best parts of the job. But a lot of that is, I think, what you're going to see coming from us next year is more innovation, more new products. You can come see us at FDIC. We always have everything there as well. So yeah, I think it's just innovation. That's what we're constantly working on. I'd say I'm probably looking at 30 to 40 different companies right now that I'm putting through the ringer and figuring out what we want to sell. There's a few new ones that'll be launched here shortly. We did just launch a new wildland vendor, Valforest, with us. So yeah, there's all these new things coming constantly. We never stop. So,
well, and we truly appreciate you guys supporting us from day one. I think Firestore has always been there and said we love the concept of Better Every Shift. That's kind of what we stand for. We're firefighters that want to support the fire service, and it's been over 100 shows, and it's because of companies, like you guys stepping up and supporting us. So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And
Mama's got to pay the bills.
Yeah, right. And so if somebody's listening, they're like, Zam, you're kissing ass. Actually, I'm not. I'm just practicing gratitude. And I think there's a lot of companies that believe in the same thing. And I love the fact that you guys just stepped up and said, yep, we do. And again, thanks for those great gift giving ideas and tips. Again, lots of tangible, usable things that people can buy for themselves, significant others, give as ideas. And of course, there's always the gift card there. So thanks for being with us again, but you're not done just yet.
I know.
Yep. Now we're going to just do should we do a quick holiday version or a bridge version, Janelle? What do you want to do for hot seat questions this time?
Let's do holiday theme hot seat.
This is one that we talked about at the firehouse the other day. What are 3 Christmas movies that every firehouse crew needs to watch together?
Watch together. All right, my first one is a lot of people say is not a Christmas movie, but I think it is. Die Hard. My favorite.
Holiday movie.
Yeah,
Totally
it is for me. I
holiday.
mean, there's Christmas lights, therefore holiday movie.
Well, it happened at Nakatomi Towers on Christmas Eve. Every year
Exactly.
they still
Totally
do the
holiday
dispatch.
movie.
Yeah, holiday movie. I'm with you.
Exactly.
Die Hard. Good one. Okay.
I love Elf because I tend to find, and we did this last year. We watched this with some of my friends that are all at the firehouse, and they all started running around saying different like little lines from the movie for like the next week. You know, you're on a fire scene and they're running around saying it. So Elf is like my favorite one besides Die Hard. And number 3.
Yeah, third one. Tough one.
Oh, so it's not. I mean, it's a holiday movie, but it bridges 2. It would be Nightmare Before Christmas. There's any Tim Burton fans out there,
Yeah.
but that one's fun.
Is that the
yeah,
new one? Is that the new one, right? Kind of newer, like the last couple of years, or?
No, this one's been around since I was little, so eons ago.
Okay.
But no, so my godson loves this movie, and he watches it like every day. So him and I watch it constantly, or I hear about him watching it. So
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay. All right. So if you haven't watched that one, I don't know if I haven't watched that one. So that's one I will.
Now
I
you have
will
to
do.
watch and tell me what you think.
Yep. So I love it. The other 2 for sure were on the list. All right, Janelle, follow that up, will you? Huh? That was
All right. All right. Yeah, that was a really good one. What's your favorite holiday tradition?
Ooh, favorite tradition. It's kind of a newer one for me. So I have tons of cousins, and our grandparents used to always do this huge, like tons of gifts under the tree. The youngest one would have to give the gifts out. It was so much fun. But now that we're all older, nobody's buying all of us the gifts anymore that they used to. We're not little kids. So we started doing a white elephant. But the best part about the white elephant is that all of us besides my uncle know that it is funny gifts, off color gifts sometimes. It is things that like I got them like a toilet seat riser last year was in a box. Like I was like, why not? Just put it out there. And my uncle gets so angry every year. We've been doing this for 5 years, but he gets so angry that because he buys like thoughtful gifts. And I'm like, well, now we're still going to go back to the fun ones. So it is by far one of my favorite ones because he ends up, pretty not happy by the end, but it's fun. So, whole bunch of us.
That is a great holiday tradition, just alienating one member of the family.
He's great. He's actually he was in the firehouse too, so he was the one that got us into the station we're in now. He was the first member there. So so a lot of the night is it's the same as the firehouse. We're just cracking jokes on each other all night.
Yeah, it's family. It's sometimes a little dysfunctional, sometimes, comical, a lot of times comical, but, they're always there for you. And just, one of the cool parts I think of, holidays around the firehouse is you have the food, but then you have you hear about the different traditions, and you always hear about stories about the crazy aunt or the crazy uncle. And that's always fun too. That's a great question, Janelle. I think I like, one of the funny, I'm going to interject one of my crews. One of the greatest things we did one year was, the lieutenant knew we were a bunch of characters. So he said, look, I'm not going to do a white elephant. He's going to put some parameters to it because he knew that would get way blown out of proportion. So he tried to control a little bit. He said, okay, everybody draws a name and you buy a t-shirt for someone in your crew. So if you pulled like Janelle, I would buy you a t-shirt. You would buy me one, right? It was quite comical. The other half of that was that you had to wear it out in public. So it was some people had to wear sweatshirts. We'll just say that. But I love the traditions. Janelle, what's your favorite holiday tradition?
We always like to watch A Christmas Story, of course.
Oh, I love that one too.
It's such a good movie. So, and I love sitting by a fire and just like having a fire going, drinking some hot chocolate. I feel very in the holiday spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, that is good.
Well, we do as well, but our type of fire that we like to sit next to or in is a little different than most, probably. So, um, but with that, let me wish everyone listening. By the way, as I like to call you, the Misfit Nation of Better Every Shifters. Um, thank you for listening, and please, use some of these tips to get that first responder, that firefighter in your life. Some of these cool gifts, gift cards. Could be a personal tick, could be a new helmet, could be a new tool, snagger tool. It could be some personalized gifts, whatever it is. Just make sure you are grateful for being a member of one of the greatest, I think, professions in the world,
Great.
and that you're able to contribute and make people's holidays. And just like that, thank you, Amanda, for making our day and our shift a brighter, or our members' shifts brighter, and our holidays a little brighter. Thanks for the insight. Thanks for the
Yeah.
support. We look forward. By the way, you are again, as I mentioned, you are the I think you have the most appearances. So Chief Lieb is probably going to be a little bit irritated with you, but
That's all right.
we'll keep you coming back. And again, thanks
Yeah.
to all our listeners. Thanks to the Fire Store. If you are just listening to this, by the way, you're missing out. You missed Janelle's, high speed mousing technique and skills. You missed the great pictures of the gifts that we talked about, and you can watch that if you go to firerescue1.com. You'll just click on the Better Every Shift banner. You will be able to watch all of our episodes. If you go to the Fire Rescue One YouTube channel, you will also be able to see them there. If you think that there's something on the list that we missed, or if you think we're on something or onto something, we want to hear from you. So give us an email at bettereveryshift@firerescue1.com. Rate, review the show, share this episode. You can give hints by sharing this episode to some members of your crew, significant others, people that need to get you some gifts. So that's a subtle hint that I'm suggesting for everybody on this. But with that, want to wish you all very happy holidays. And again, thank you. Thanks to the Fire Store. Thanks to the Commander, Janelle, and to all the misfits that are listening, that are trying to do something every single day. You're trying to learn something, you're trying to do something, and share something to make you and those around you better every shift. Thanks for listening, everybody.